Let me know. Hi everyone, I'm Raga Olga De Silva, or Totally Out Now, as you know me.
Okay,
A
hello
very warm
everyone.
welcome, Thamba. At Speaking Minds, we continue our focus on sharing powerful
We
stories,
are
insightful.
live right now and we're waiting for Raga,
Okay, guys, listen, I'm not
who
going to do
seems
my
to be having a bit of a problem
no,
with her internet,
no, not me. Mumbai Cyclone Milind. I'm sure
I
we've got
think.
friends. No, we have no. So no introduction to Milind Soman, Ultraman, Iron Man, author, co-founder of Speaking Minds with us. And here he is. No introduction. Milind, how you doing? कसं काय मिलिंद? काय झालं? Milind, you have internet issues. Milind, log back. Log back. Please send to log back. You've got him out? Hi, everyone. Well, we are facing a little bit of technical problems, and I hope it is to do with the cyclone. Milind is very excited about being online with us. But hey, in the meantime, for those of you who've joined in, hello, 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 everyone. And please come back if you've gone. Tana, Sophia, Nishikant, and many, many more who are waiting for us. Nicola will bring Milind back. And like I said, it is the Other Side series with Speaking Minds. So you will see the other side of the speakers that we bring in, including a very, very endearing Milind Soman. And for some reason, he's facing technical issues, which we normally don't have. Preeti Shah, Nishikant, hello again. And, we are excited about bringing Milind Soman. I don't know, in the meantime, while he finds his way back to us, I'm sure you all know about this amazing person. He's an Iron Man, an Ultraman, an author. He's written a book called Made in India. If you haven't picked up a copy, you must, because it is very, very interesting to know his life story. And apart from that, he's an amazing businessman, an astute businessman. And Milind, you're back. Welcome back. Can you hear me? Milind, if you say you can't hear me, me. If you can't hear me, I'm going to start singing. People will run
I
away.
can hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you very clearly.
Oh, fantastic. Now you're back. So I've done all the introductions. People are waiting for you. And I was going to have my charming line saying, Kasa ahe Milind? Kasa kai Milind?
चाललंय आपलं हळूहळू.
Hadu hadu. So why not fast? I thought you were about everything fast.
No,
Okay.
I'm about finding your own pace
And what is that
and
pay?
doing things that everybody knows their own pace. Find your own pace and do everything at your own pace. And
Fantastic.
you'll get much more done when you're going at your pace than trying to do somebody else's pace.
What a brilliant way to start. Milind, I know you very
Yeah,
well. You know how you travel. We know you travel consistently. You're never in one place. Sometimes I forget which city you're in. How are you
but now
managing?
I am
I
that
know, but
pace for
oh,
the
that's
last 65 days or
65,
75 or 80.
79
80. I
something.
don't know how many days it is now.
79. And I know, you know how I know 79 because I follow Barkha Dutt very religiously. She says 79th day of lockdown. So, Milind, how are you managing the confinement?
Wow. Wow. Well, with great difficulty. Yeah, it hasn't been easy. I mean, it takes a lot of getting used to when our lifestyles now are so busy, so active, and especially in terms of travel. Maybe earlier it wasn't like that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but now it's just you want to meet someone, you want to work somewhere, you just travel, you go there, you do it. It takes a couple of hours, and that's what we're now used to. You know, we're eating different kinds of food. There's so many new things happening every day. You're seeing new places, meeting new people. But for the last 79 days, you're just stuck at home, trying to make sense of what life is.
So, how
And yeah, so it's not easy to get rid of that baggage that you've accumulated over the last 5 years or 10 years or 15 years, and look at the way the situation is through a new perspective. And when I'm saying new perspective, it is your perspective. How are you personally going to deal with this? It's not about how anybody else, the government is doing what the government is doing, businesses are doing what businesses are doing. As an individual, as a person, what do you need to do?
Wonderful.
That's so just to get to that perspective is difficult.
But
There's so much confusion.
sure.
You're
But Milind, you
thinking
as
about
a person, right?
coronavirus and
Yeah.
what's that?
But you as a person, you're so active. How are you managing the
Exactly.
confinement? That's what I want to know.
Exactly. Well, as you know, the most activity takes place in your head, right? And that's once you get a grip on that, then controlling everything else becomes, I think, easier. But getting a grip on what's happening inside your head is tough, is very, very tough. So, most of all, adaptation is about controlling your mind, disciplining your mind, stilling your mind, seeing the situation for what it is, not worrying about it, not being afraid of it, seeing it for what it is, and then doing whatever is necessary that you have to do to be where you want to be. That's it.
But
It's it's it's
how do
all
you
in
do
the head.
that? See, these are words, right? And words from people like you who live that
So
life.
yeah,
How
so
does an ordinary
how I
person?
did it, and I think which a lot of people do is to create a routine for yourself. Routines are very comfortable. Routines are very calming. We are most often we panic when we don't know what's going to happen. What are we going to do? What is happening outside? Where are we going? So once we create that routine in our mind that when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to do this. After this, I'm going to do that. And after that, I'm going to do that. For the whole day, you create your routine with exercise, with food, with work, all of it in that schedule. And then, of course, things keep happening. Like you can't hear me on internet and all of
Yeah,
that.
of course.
But once you've got your routine, it becomes easier to see things in a perspective. And that routine is made up of very simple things. It could be as soon as you wake up, you make your bed, you know, you brush your teeth. That is in the routine. You have your breakfast or you have your bath or so you do whatever you have to do. The simple everyday things, put them in that routine and enjoy them. Be mindful about them, right?
But you run
And
so much, right?
that's what I used to kind of keep grounded and
Sure.
not kind of get panicky about what's going to happen and where I'm going to go and how I'm going to get things done, the million things that you want to do. And as far as exercise goes, of course, I'm used to running on the road,
Right.
and you normally think that that's the freest thing that you can do. What do you need? I mean, I don't even wear shoes. Just get out on the road and you run, right? You don't need a gym, you don't need equipment, you don't need infrastructure. But now you can't run on the road.
Right.
So yes, so you have to figure out something else. Like you might love Mongolian food, but now you can't get it, right? So then again, you have to think about what is it? What are you going to eat that is best for you,
Sure.
right? And in these exercises, you actually go back to the basics.
Okay.
You really go back to the basics and understand again what is important. So most of the time, we're quite disconnected. Our lives have become so fast. We are physically disconnected, we're mentally disconnected, we're emotionally disconnected. But what this has also done, because now we are forced to think of the basic and the mundane and the usual and the routine, we are grounded and we are connected. I think of it like that. We are grounded and we are connected once again, and that is always a great place to start.
So in your case, Milind, I know that you are doing a lot of exercise up and down the stairs, 100 floors, 150, 200, 300 floors, you say to me, most times. I'm like, okay, 100
Yeah.
push-ups is like nothing for you. And I know you're staying active. You're staying active with your mother, who's nearly 80 years old, and your wife, right?
She's
So
over 80 years.
she's over 80, right? So is it important to bring in that support system for us as well, as a general person? So if I have a partner, if I have kids, do I bring them together? Does that help?
Well, obviously, when you're in a situation that is tough, and that's any situation, it's always great to have support. And in this particular situation, the good thing is that we are all in it together. It's
Sure.
not that I have a situation in my office where my wife doesn't understand it or my mother doesn't understand it. Maybe I can't talk to them about it because they don't understand it. But this tough situation that we're all going through, we're going through together. So I think it might be, again, when we get our perspectives right, even easier to support each other
Sure.
emotionally, be more, feel that empathy because they are in the exact same situation that you are. They can't do the things that they want to do. They're stuck in the same house that you are, 24/7 looking into your face, you
Sure.
know. So
That,
it's easy. It's easier, I think, to understand and empathize with the people that are with you. And again, that also grounds you because again, we're so disconnected from each other. We just want to get the work done, and the work has to be done, and the work. But we're
right.
disconnected from each other as people.
Yes.
And again, this is a good situation to get us connected to each other again.
Okay. So, Milind, on that note, I need to ask you this 24 by
I know
7
it's all good.
24 by 7 confinement we talk about, right? Now, I know
Yeah,
you
yeah,
well, just don't know you as well. So you have, you travel so much. So you and your wife and your mother basically have amazing lives, but you're not together all the time. Now, suddenly you're
yeah.
confined 24 by 7, and that is not easy for anyone. So do you have to work at it? That's something that I want to understand.
You have to, like I said, if you start from the understanding that you're all in the same situation, it's the same area of frustrations, the same irritations, all of those, in probably varying intensity, depending on the kind of person you are. You understand that and you empathize with it, and you hopefully can try to make it better because you understand it. So of course, I have taken up as much of the household chores as I can. Of course, I'm constantly shooed out of the kitchen by my wife because I don't know how to wash the dishes properly. But but you do as much as you can to show that you're there,
Yeah,
right? To show that you're there, and you are there. So you have to share that load, So you make your own bed, you cut your own fruits, you try your hand at cooking, you try your hand at cleaning up, and all of that you don't normally do. Maybe
sure.
because you just expect it to be done, which is how
Yeah,
badly we're brought up. And also, you're not at home. You're
sure.
you're in the office all day, or you're traveling all day, and then you come home, you say, okay, the house is clean, everything is beautiful, everything's cooked, dinner's ready, lunch is ready. Wow.
So
But
who do you
now
listen to? Your mom or
you
your
have to be part of it.
So who do you listen to? Your mom or
You,
your wife?
oh, you have to listen to women.
I
Yeah,
love
you have to listen to women. So,
it. And why?
so yeah, that's it. I mean, you are part of this. The whole thing is that we are in it together. We're all part of it. Let's try and share this burden together. Let's try and make it as much as you can. Maybe you can't, but as much as you can. No amount is too little when you're trying to do something good. And
Sure.
finally, when you're trying to make a beautiful, positive environment for other people, it becomes a beautiful, positive environment for yourself, right?
But what you're saying, it sounds like sorry, I'm saying this, but it sounds easy. It seems like, wow, this is such
It
an ideal
is
thing
not
to do.
easy.
No, it sounds like an
Well,
easy, ideal thing.
I said that in the beginning. It's very tough.
Yeah,
This is just an understanding. It's like you have a project. You want to do a project, okay? And you say, okay, this project, I understand the project. These are the things that need to be done. Now, is it easy to do those things? No.
yeah,
But these are the things that need to be done if you want to successfully complete this project.
sure,
So nothing is easy. Nothing doing something good, doing something interesting, doing something well is never easy. It's an effort.
sure,
It's a mental effort, it's a physical effort, it's a discipline, right? So
sure,
all of those things are there. And I think to mentally be strong, and I think that is something that we continuously tell ourselves and tell other people, mentally you have to be strong. It's not about how much I can run, how much weight I can lift, how much strength do I have in my mind to focus, to concentrate, to understand, to accept those
sure,
strengths. Do I have those strengths? Like I say, when I talk about fitness is not about, really not about sport. It's not about how fast you can run, how far you can run. It's not about lifting 100 kilos. It's about dealing with life. If you can deal with the life that you have chosen,
right,
right? You have chosen a job, you have chosen to be married, you have chosen to have kids, you have chosen these things. And if you can, if you're okay with that, if you're comfortable with that, you can create that in a positive way. That determines your level of fitness.
But
You
how do
choose the
you,
life that you can deal with,
sure. But how do you keep the
or you
spirit
learn to
alive?
deal with it.
Milind,
I
how do
don't
you
know how I keep it
keep
alive,
that?
but maybe sports plays a part of it there.
But right
Sports
now,
does play a part of it there because the mind and body are linked. And of course, I've been doing it for so many years. I've been practicing sport and the discipline that goes with sport, which is not just a physical discipline, it's a mental discipline also.
sure,
So I've been practicing it for so long that for me to understand and put into action may be a little bit easier than
sure,
for a lot of people. But I think even so, in this situation, to take
right,
up exercise,
yeah,
regular exercise, physical exercise helps the mind to get stronger.
sure. But
Yeah.
you're a positive person. So, I mean, we know that about you. But how if you are surrounded by people who are not positive? You are positive, but you have family members who are in lockdown with you and they are not always positive. How do you manage that?
Difficult. But difficult doesn't mean impossible.
Right.
The thing is that you never achieve the ideal. You never achieve. That's why it's the ideal. You're always working towards it, always working to perfection. Do you have the perfect situation? Never. Are you always happy? Never. Right? So your effort is continuous. You
Sure,
have to keep making that effort. You have to keep moving forward. It's You're never going to achieve it, but it can get better and better, even in minute amounts, better and better. And be happy with that. So one way of keeping motivated is to give yourself small challenges,
okay,
right? Like people ask me about exercise, like how do you keep running? I've been running marathons now for 17 years, right?
right,
And people, some they start and then they stop, and they said, oh, I've been running for 5 years, but now for the last 2 years I haven't. Or, oh, I used to do a lot of sports in school, but now I haven't done it for 15 years. How do you keep doing it all the time? So for me, the answer has been challenges. I consciously challenge myself very regularly, and the small challenges, like, okay, I'm feeling terrible today. I know I'm physically capable of running 20 kilometers or 30 or 40 kilometers. But today I don't even feel like running five.
hmm,
Five is very easy for me physically. Mentally now, I have to say, I have to push myself to do five, but I'll be happy with it if I do it. So give myself that, let me just do five today. It's not too little. Because what is the most important thing about exercise is regularity. Again, it's not about the distance, not about the speed, it's about regularity. So let me do at least 5 kilometers today. I know I can do it. I choose a challenge that I know I can do. I just need to push myself a little bit. And when you do that, the sense of achievement that you get is a very positive feeling.
sure,
Even
sure.
though you know, okay, I did something easy, but I didn't want to do it. It was so mentally tough for me. But I pushed myself, not physically, mentally, and I did it. And so I've achieved something.
So
And it's
basically,
okay to achieve those little milestones,
sure. So little
because that is
milestones, right?
little milestones, small challenges.
Sure.
That is
Mil-
important.
you know,
Sometimes we say that, oh my God, the mountain, I've got to climb that. And then we don't even try.
sure, right.
You can't do 100 push ups, do one and say, wow, I did one. My first time in my life, I did one. I mean, imagine
Yeah,
the sense of achievement there. You did one. Wow. And the next day you think, tomorrow I'm going to do two. And you do two.
right.
And then
So
you do three. And
small
then you
things,
see how it goes.
yeah. I have an interesting,
Small, tiny, tiny. There is no challenge too small, because
sure,
it's all about disciplining the mind,
yeah,
creating positivity in the mind.
sure, sure. Milind, before we started this chat, we basically asked people to send in their questions. And the best question,
Oh,
get a book, your Made in India book. Of course, when the lockdown eases, we'll give it to them. One of the questions that
okay.
was, and we received many, many questions, as you can imagine. Huge fan following, girls across all age groups, as we know. So one of the questions that came up, which was very interesting, from Soumya Anand, and Soumya, I know you're online. Thank you for participating. She says,
Soumya is a part of Intercom.
"Is she? Oh,
Soumya
one.
is always, let me tell you, Soumya is always the first person to ask me a question on every chat.
Maybe she's asked you
Well
this.
done, Soumya.
Wonderful. And your
Well
song
done, Paul.
question amongst
Yes,
all the questions is very, very interesting question. So she is
amazing.
asked, to be the best version of myself, should I be competing with people ahead of me or should I be competing against myself? That's the
Well,
question.
I think the question has the answer in it, right? You want to be the best version of yourself. You don't want to be better than anybody else. So you remove that comparison from your head that somebody is better than you. Remove that comparison with people who are behind you or people in front of you or people anywhere. There is nobody. Nobody exists but you. When it comes to you and how you want to be, how you visualize yourself, there is nobody else. It's only you. And like I said, small challenges. Today, I did one push up. I've never done push ups in my life. For the first time, I tried it and I did one. And I know it's not a lot, but it's a lot for me because I've never done it. And that's great. So tomorrow, I will do two. Again, it's not a lot. I know people who can do 500, but I don't care. It's better than what I did yesterday.
Yeah, sure. Milind,
And that comes, and I'm telling you, that is about physical activity. You
sure,
can even do it with mental activity. Yesterday I was so upset about this, that it rained and I couldn't do this. And today it rained and it wasn't so bad. It's an achievement.
yeah.
It
So
is.
every day we do better, right? If we tell that to
Every
ourselves,
day. Yes,
every day,
consciously. Today I
consciously.
did better.
Yeah,
Today I was more positive in my thinking. Not all of it. One thought I had that was more positive than yesterday. Today
sure.
I exercised a little bit more. One push up, one flight of stairs. That's it. Got out of bed 1 minute earlier.
Yeah. No,
It's
absolutely.
enough. It's enough,
We are
really.
we're constantly waiting, and what you're saying to us, you don't have to
Yeah.
wait. Every day you do something
You
like
don't have to. And the thing is, it's okay to be patient with yourself.
right,
It's
right.
okay. It's
Okay,
okay. We know our weaknesses. We know our strengths. First,
sure.
we have to accept those and then work on them slowly,
In
gradually. We have our whole life
yeah, for
to
us,
be the best. The whole life. You've got 20 years, 30, 40, 50 years more. Or if
thank
you're 90 years old, maybe 10 years more. I don't know what you think. But even you have 10 years more, you
yeah.
get better.
I mean, so even
Yeah.
if you have 1 year more, Milind, it's a year more, right? For us to
Absolutely. The mascot of Pinkerton is 105 years old,
yeah.
still working, 105 years old, started running at the age of 93, still working
Wow,
towards breaking the world record that she made last year.
fantastic. I mean, we can't even
Amazing.
imagine that,
Yeah,
right? Not
yeah,
even imagine,
of
but
course.
it is possible.
Yeah.
Just to the
And I'm
audience,
telling you, where we can compare, and it's not even a comparison, it is being inspired. When you look around yourself and you see so many people who are facing huge obstacles. I mean, all of us have problems, but you can imagine somebody who is recovering from cancer, or somebody who is blind, visually impaired, somebody who's hearing impaired, somebody who has some big issue, but they have overcome that and have achieved amazing things.
sure,
And you don't have to even do what they did, just do what you can do.
what you can do.
That's it.
Amazing. Just to the audience, Milind, just if I can share, we've got another 5 minutes with Milind because Milind has another commitment. However, we're going
Yeah.
to do part two of this show again by huge popular demand. So we've only got 5 more minutes. So I'm going to keep it very, very brief. But Milind, while we're talking about fit mind and fit body, I want to talk about
Oh,
unconventional life.
is that what we were talking about?
Yeah, but we talk about everything about Milind, the other side. So we've got to have lots more conversation, right? But most important, there has been a lot of requests that I have had to talk about this particular subject, which is about unconventional lifestyle, supposedly
Right.
unconventional lifestyle that you have chosen for yourself. For instance, you got married to a woman who is much younger than you. So is there something that
Hmm.
you talk about? And I know that you have partners who also live unconventional lifestyles, and I know it is Pride Month. So is there something that you want to talk about? They seem to want to know this part of you.
Well, all my life, actually, I never thought of the conventional and unconventional. And maybe I was privileged, but I just did whatever I wanted to do. And of course, I am not. Maybe I was privileged. I am privileged, and I just did whatever I wanted to do. So I did push the envelope. I did do things that other people may not were not doing in every part of my life. So whether it was sports, whether it was as a model, whether it was as an actor, whether it was as a business person, I did things that were not usual. This is in retrospect, and people tell me this. In fact, I read somewhere on the internet just the last couple of days is that people have an idea of me depending at what age they discovered me. Whether they discovered me when I was swimming, they discovered me as a model, they discovered me as an actor, they discovered me as a business person, they discovered me as a runner. At what age and at what part of their life did they discover me? They know me as that person, you know? So it's because I've done things the way I wanted to, not because of the things that were expected of me. And I know again that to do these things may have been easier for me because of all the privileges that I have. Let's not go into that. But we have to keep fighting for what we believe in. We have to keep fighting for what we believe in. And that's the only way the world will be a better place. And when I'm saying a better place, it's a more uh, equal place. And when I'm talking about equal, I'm talking about equal opportunity and a less judgmental place.
Sure.
That whatever you want to do, whatever choice you have, is your choice and your life, and you're free to make that choice and live your life the way you want.
Sure.
And we must continue to fight for that. These are the only two things that I think are supremely important.
Sure.
Right? To make the world a place of equal opportunity, and to make the world a place where there is no judgment.
How wonderful.
Of choice.
Wonderful. Especially during Pride Month, it is a most wonderful message that you're giving, Milind. I'm aware that you are very short on time. And I want to know more about your unconventional life and your stories of adulation and the other side, which we haven't touched upon today. I also want to talk to you about your Made in India book and the stories, the memoir, but we will leave that for part 2. Next week, we will come back to audience. We'll come back next week again with Milind Soman. We will share the date. And I'm getting hundreds of messages as we are speaking. Thank you, everyone, for participating. I wish, Milind, you would stay longer.
Thank you, Radha. I know, I'm sorry, but next week, look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you, and we have so much more to talk about. Thank you, Milind. Thank you for giving your time. Speaking Minds.
Hurrah for Speaking Minds.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Milind. And audience next week. See you soon, Milind. And those
bye-bye.
And those watching,
bye, all of
you can find us on Speaking Minds Global Facebook or at Totally Out Now. And stay safe, stay well. We'll see you soon.